For the longest time, if you thought about crypto, you probably pictured the Wild West, right? A kind of lawless frontier, volatile prices, unpredictable projects. But that story, it's changing. The Wild West is being tamed, not by a single sheriff, but by two really powerful and seemingly opposite forces. See, on one side, you've got the builders, the coders and innovators moving at the speed of light. And on the other, you have the rule makers, the institutions, the regulators, moving with this very methodical precision. These two forces are absolutely on a collision course. So the big question is, what happens when they finally meet? Think about it. In one corner, you've got the builders. These folks live and breathe code. Their world is all about permissionless innovation. If you can build it, you ship it. The best idea wins. Then, in the other corner, you have the rule makers. Their world is about policy, safety, and building a stable foundation so this new tech can plug into the global financial system. We're talking two totally different worlds, speaking two different languages, but headed for one shared future.
So to really understand where all this is headed, we need to explore both of these new frontiers. We're going to start with the builders, the ones writing the code that's really pushing the boundaries of what's even possible.
Okay, so if you're going to build a new financial system, you need a rock-solid foundation. And for a lot of people, that foundation is Bitcoin. But today's innovators, they aren't just happy with a foundation. Oh no, they're trying to build entire financial skyscrapers on top of it. And companies like BitLayer, well, they're the architects. So how in the world do you build a skyscraper on a foundation that wasn't really designed for it? Well, the answer is something called a layer 2. The best way to think about it is like this. Bitcoin is the main highway. It's super secure, but sometimes it can get a little congested. A layer 2 is like an express highway built right on top. It gets all the same security, but it's built for speed and for handling more complex stuff, like smart contracts, without causing a huge traffic jam on the main network. And listen, this isn't just a theory. BitLayer has actually deployed the first working version of something called BitVM. And this is a huge deal. Why? Because for the first time ever, it makes Bitcoin programmable. It's kind of like giving a super secure vault a brand new advanced operating system, letting developers build all sorts of complex apps that are secured directly by the Bitcoin network itself. It's a game changer. Okay, so how do you get your Bitcoin from that main highway onto the new express lane? That's where this trust minimized bridge comes in. So instead of trusting some single company to hold your Bitcoin, the system, as you see in step 1, it locks your BTC up on the main Bitcoin network. Then, step 2, it issues a sort of digital IOU on the layer 2 that you can use in apps. The whole thing, and this is the clever part in step 3, is secured by the system of checks and balances. And the bottom line, step 4, is that you get to use your Bitcoin in all these cool new applications without having to hand over your funds and trust one single company. But is anyone actually driving on this new express lane? Oh yeah, a resounding yes. In just the first half of 2025, BitLayer was already processing over 160,000 transactions every single day. To put that in perspective, that's more daily volume than some entire countries process. This isn't just some small experiment. It's a thriving ecosystem. It's proof that people really want these new features. Of course, a new highway is only as good as its on-ramps and off-ramps, right? And that's why BitLayer has been so busy building out a powerful ecosystem. They've partnered with Chainlink to get reliable, real-world data onto their network. They're using Celestia to keep transaction costs way down. And this is really impressive. They've partnered with mining pools that represent over 30% of Bitcoin's total computing power. This isn't some little side project. This is being woven right into the fabric of the Bitcoin network. But while the builders have been heads down writing code, another, equally powerful force has been at work. On the other side of the world, in the halls of government, the rule makers have been writing a completely different kind of code, the first ever global rulebook for crypto. This quote from PwC's latest report, it says it all, doesn't it? The Wild West is over. That era of regulatory uncertainty is coming to an end. And for the big institutions, the pension funds, the sovereign wealth funds, all the big money that's been sitting on the sidelines, well, for them, this changes everything. And the first, and honestly the biggest piece of this new rulebook, is Europe's MiCAR regulation. As of December 2024, it's pretty much the law of the land over there. So what does that mean? It means for the very first time, there's a single, clear set of rules for crypto across all 27 EU member states. It's like going from a confusing patchwork of local driving laws to one unified highway code for everyone. For businesses and investors, that kind of certainty is a massive game changer. And when you look at what's actually in this new rulebook, you see a really clear set of priorities. They want to protect investors, which, hey, is exactly what the builders are trying to do with better tech. They want to fight illicit finance with things like the travel rule, just as builders want a more transparent and open system. And most importantly, they want to create clear rules for stablecoins, which are the absolute lifeblood of this new crypto economy. And make no mistake, this isn't just a European thing. This is a global movement. In the US, we're seeing this huge legislative push to move away from regulation by enforcement to a clearer, more innovation-friendly framework. Over in the UK, they're building their own set of rules from the ground up. The message from every direction is crystal clear. The world is finally getting serious about crypto. So this is it. This is the moment. You've got the builders creating this radical new technology, and you have the rule makers creating these comprehensive new policies. What happens when these two irresistible forces finally meet? Well, this is where our story gets really interesting. So let's go back to that express lane bit layer for the second. Who's actually using it? Well, you've got your native crypto users, of course, but look at this. The second biggest slice of that pie is Tether, USDT. That's a stablecoin, a digital dollar. It's the bridge between the old financial world and the new. And the fact that it's got such a massive presence here is the first major clue that these two worlds are starting to merge. This is the common ground. The point where these two worlds finally meet is stablecoins. For the builders, stablecoins are essential. They're the stable, predictable asset you need to build a real, functioning financial system. For the rule makers, stablecoins are the key to managing risk and making sure everything stays stable. It's the one thing that both sides agree is absolutely crucial. And what's emerging from this convergence? It's not a conflict. It's more like a partnership. It's this symbiotic relationship. Remember that trust-minimized bridge we talked about? That's a perfect example of how tech is solving the exact problems that keep regulators up at night. You know, the risk of a single company going under and taking everyone's money with it. And in return, the clear rules from the regulators are giving the big institutions the confidence they need to finally jump into this new world. It's a virtuous cycle. So where is all of this heading? This convergence of code and policy, of builders and rule makers. It isn't just about making crypto a little bit safer. It's about something much, much bigger. It's about building the foundation for a completely new kind of financial system. So what's the bottom line here? The way I see it is this. The builders are providing the engine, the raw power, the innovation. The rule makers are providing the guardrails, the safety features, the trust. And together, they're building a new kind of financial vehicle, one that's finally ready for the mainstream highway. Which brings us right back to our central question. What happens when the builders and the rule makers collide? Well, it turns out they don't really collide. They converge. And in that convergence, we're not just seeing the next chapter for crypto, we might just be witnessing the blueprint for an entirely new financial system. And that is a story that is still being written.